Hey there, everyone, and you missed Imp actually throwing an honest-to-God melty because of the Rogel Dorn tanks. Hey there, and welcome to an episode of Lore Ramblings. The name is Adam.
I'm Tech Priest.
And I'm Imsit, and instead of talking about the overpriced bullshit that is the Rogel Dorn tank that Games Workshop made, otherwise known as the Cuck tank, the tank for cucks, you can enjoy that rant by looking up the rules for that bullshit piece of tank. We're instead going to talk about something actually fun and interesting, which is government espionage in the form of Delta Green, the
I don't,
Millennium.
I don't know about that. I think talking about doing 20 attacks for 3 damage with a bunch of Melta weapons that can just fucking dome most elite units sounds
Now,
fantastic.
bear in mind, they are hitting on a 4-up, but
They're
at the
heading on a
same
4-up. They
Well, that's what the Rogel Dorn
you get
commander's
word
there
saying
for. I'll just send orders to just kill your elite units.
Yes, that is the problem. Now again, Games Workshop's new cover mechanics have actually helped me in my fight about destroying
That's what
the
the Elysian
abomination.
drop troopers that you
Meanwhile,
grandfather in to flush them out's for.
meanwhile, I'm sitting here with my Necrons and just crying softly that GW has decided that no, your infantry can in fact not be good.
Come on, don't you want to have a tank that can just fucking shred apart? Because the best part is it also does that to armor as much as it does infantry.
Yeah, that's the balance
The
mechanic.
last time I've seen something this broken was, what was it, 15 years ago when the Tau had the flying flapjack that could just no-sell everything?
I'll be honest, it's not broke. The Rogel Dorn is not broken. It is
If you
just,
force them to only take one as like a special unit, I don't think it's too bullshit.
The
or
main thing about
make
the
or
Rogel
make
Dorn
the
is that
sponsons cost extra points.
they're probably going to do that in the next codex
Oh,
for 11th.
please! I might praise the God Emperor if they do that.
No, it turns out Credence gets his hands on it and actually makes them even more powerful.
The
I don't even
Rogel
know if
Dorn,
Credits still works for them.
I think it is the Rogel Dorn Scout tank.
Yeah, it's even cheaper now. Have fun.
I mean, here's the thing, Imset. You could just bring a Titan to your game.
You
They
could.
are releasing plastic Titans now.
I will instead tear it apart with my Mauler Fiends.
That's also a viable strategy.
No,
I do think it's
you need to
funnier though
counter with
that
a
to
Daemon
protest you
engine.
bring
Yes,
that
Daemon engines.
you get a Chaos Warhound Titan, run Chaos Knights, let him suffer.
But Angel
But
Arroyo asks, I wonder if Delta Green has rules for tanks. They don't, but they do have the Outlook group.
They kind of do have rules for tanks, actually. It's basically a lethality like 80% or something like that.
But we're not talking about that. We're going to talk about the Outlook group, which has a very amusing cover. Just because you have what is clearly a photo that's been airbrushed on front of art, and it just looks interesting. It kind of looks like David Dees art, which is what I use. There's a reason I credit David Dees for these ones, and I think for every Delta Green afterward, we're going to just use his art. It's just very
He's
fitting.
dead.
so the Outlook group, it's a great mechanic for you to do a game without needing to have the scary monster at the end or the occult menace. It is
Sometimes you just want weird science bullshit.
weird science, pretty much.
Oh, I actually never seen that movie. We're talking about the movie, right?
No, we're talking about the weird science of Dr. Albert Yero. So, you see, he followed up on Milgram's experiments.
That's the
You remember?
one. That's the one with the children, isn't it?
No, I think you're thinking of was it the Albert one, the one with the rabbit?
Yeah.
No,
That's a
that was in the
different guy. No,
20s.
this is a prison experiment.
Oh, the
The
prison cult experiment. Sorry.
Yep.
I kind of confuse my atrocities in psychology sometimes.
So here's what he did instead. He subjected ordinary people to false environments and simulations, then monitored their reactions.
Oh, so
Uh,
he's Jonathan Crane maxing. He's Scarecrow maxing. He's unleashed
such
the
as
spear gas. He's gonna
yep,
join the Sinestro Corps.
such as a building on fire, mechanical failure on an elevator during a building fire, announcement of the presidential assassination and coup by the military.
This motherfucker is the Scarecrow from Batman. That's literally what Dr. Crane did before he got kicked out of Gotham University.
Imminent nuclear attack and alien first contact. During the first contact simulation taking place in 1964, one of the subjects suffered a severe psychotic break and attacked two other subjects and a researcher with a large ashtray stand. The two other subjects were dead from head trauma, and the research staffer suffered extensive brain damage that led in a lifelong coma. These were immediately shut down by the NYU. And
This is literally the fucking Scarecrow from Batman. This is actually the Scarecrow from Batman. I'm not even kidding.
And the only place he could end up finding employment in was with the U.S. military.
Specifically, the Air Force.
Late 60s, early 70s.
Is it bad that the more you describe this guy, the more I'm like, this is like an alternate universe where what if Project Cadmus got their hands on him?
Oh yeah. Now, if we all remember, what was America's top secret research doing in the 60s and the 70s?
There's a lot. You're gonna have to narrow it down quite a bit, actually.
Well, there's the drugs. There's the
There's
dolphin
MK
experiment.
Ultra. There's the psychic experiments, New Earth group.
And the time where we tried to teach dolphins English and resorted to helping them with certain urges.
Oh yeah,
we gave a dolphin a hand job.
Yes, multiple hand jobs.
It then actually committed self-termination when it stopped getting those.
Yep.
But that's what our tax dollars were going for, on top of also chemically poisoning most of our veterans in Vietnam.
Didn't they also experiment with, like, the fainting goats?
The Menaceric goats thing?
Yeah.
Britain.
That's the psychic stuff.
Okay.
But, you see, they were able to help with personality engineering.
Okay, so MK Ultra mostly.
Yeah.
Let's see, 3 foreign agents were compromised, and they became the most willing, capable intelligence sources ever captured. This led to him being approached by Majestic.
They had a few ideas, just things they wanted him to test out.
And he'd be going under the Outlook Group, which
Yes.
had already done work for the U.S. government with the CIA. So he basically got control of the CIA Black Ops research facility.
Yeah, because, it's Majestic. They do shit like that.
How is the Delta Green writers writing a better Batman comic than the current DC writers are?
I don't know. But because of the funding, he was able to really make these convincing scenarios, especially a lot of alien ones, apparently.
Hey, if you want to do Men in Black, this is your guy.
Yeah, he even once convinced a room full of military personnel and scientists that an alien was present in the room.
He really enjoyed fucking with people.
I mean, wouldn't you if you had all this power?
Well, remember, the whole reason this guy was doing this is because the head of Project Plato for Majestic was preparing for face-to-face communication with the Greys.
So he wanted to be able to have a backup plan in case things went bad.
Yep. And then, but outside of that, he was pretty much left to his own devices. And then he moved his facility from Maryland to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, because apparently the basing near Maryland was too close to, like, the FBI and other major government facilities. It's not in Maryland usually, but it's close enough.
More accurately, he's been at this for like 30 years. He's retiring to Puerto Rico.
And he finally put the pieces together. Oh, you keep asking about alien contact and how to... It's like, you guys are working with the aliens, aren't you? I want in.
And they gave him magic clearance, some Majestic stuff, and the files of Project Arcdream.
As well as chemical agents built from the cookbook, the Gray's analysis of all of human biology. And
specifically the MK Ultra drugs.
Yeah, gave him many drugs to experiment with. What he basically wants to do is cause a mass riot. And by mass, I mean literally induce the entire world to panic over a fake story.
Was this just like an attempted Batman? I'm sorry, I keep going back to this is something the
He-
Scarecrow would fucking
yeah.
do.
He plots to make the world's first psychological virus.
This is basically the plot of Ra's al Ghul and Batman Begins.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. This is legitimately there is an arc where the Scarecrow tried to get his fear toxin in all of Gotham to essentially rally them all by fear.
I mean, that is sort of what Ra's al Ghul was doing in Batman Begins.
True, but I haven't seen that one in well over like 15 years.
So, if you're investigating this guy, you might be able to find some information in the headquarters in Maryland.
Yeah, it depends on which one, because there's the Maryland one, which is not really used that much anymore. There's still staff there because this is one of his research areas, but most of the real stuff's in Puerto Rico.
Which is guarded by NRO Delta. And they are
Oh,
allowed
and
to shoot
also
you.
an interesting choice on using the island of Vieques is a real island, if I recall correctly, off the coast.
Yep. There's a lot of small islands like that in the Caribbean. Plenty of radar listening stations, research facilities for like monitoring water quality and sound.
Fun fact,
Things
in
like
the movie GoldenEye, the satellite near the end, the cradle, it was a radio satellite, if I recall, that was on Puerto Rico that got defunded, and then they just used it for it.
Cool. But what's
Arequipo.
interesting is, of course, the drugs that have been made.
yeah.
Red, which you take a con 5 test at -40, and if it fails, you become a homicidal killing machine for 3d6 days.
Also, this was based on the names of these drugs are actually based on the types of chemical agents that were used in the Vietnam War. It's not exactly, but like that's the color coding.
Agent, I guess. Well, it's not
The
Agent
color
Orange in
coding
this
was
case.
used for just a general agent usage, which is the formula they had. Agent
So-
Orange was called because it was in the orange goddamn packaging, basically.
Yeah.
Not
Orange.
really. Not really. It also specified
Yeah.
function. Orange was defoliant, and there's other ones like what is it, phosphorescence or burning agents. There's also
Yeah.
just nerve gas
Yeah.
agents. It just depended on the color.
But this here, Orange, it's an amnestic drug in which you will remain conscious, but you don't perceive what happens for the next 12 hours.
It's Andrew Tate's favorite drug.
And we can say that because, yeah, he's getting charged and actually getting his ass dragged over for, what is it, 59 and counting?
Yeah, something like 59 charges of rape.
Yeah, just 59 charges overall. Some of it's rape. Only some of it is.
It's super raw hypnol.
But blue, con 5 or at 20%, or you die.
The heart attack drug. You know, for the CIA.
Wait a minute.
The
These
indigo.
motherfuckers are just recasting prismatic spray.
Yes, they are.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
Green causes you to hallucinate.
Oh my. So
yeah,
Yellow
because here's the
paralyzes
thing,
you.
right? Uncontrollable rage by was it exacerbating pain like you're on fire. The orange color is closer to, I think, time blackout, that's like ice. If I remember right, orange is ice, yellow is lightning, green is the crazy one, blue is freezing. Yeah. It's prismatic spray refluffed for Delta
so
Green.
in indigo destroys your the dendrites of your transmitter of your neurons.
Slow but terrible brain damage.
Do you want an Alzheimer gun? You use Agent Indigo.
And then violet, which is a fatal cascade of body functions causing slight mutations in certain chemical productions, such as waste not being collected or excreted, blood not clotting, not being able to digest food, and eye and ear ducts producing inappropriate fluids. Death usually occurs within 3 to 12 days, sometimes sooner, as well. You end the pain by the fact that you cannot void your bowels.
Effectively, this is the equivalent of acute radiation sickness.
Yep.
Oh.
Without the skin rotting off. That's the only real difference. It could also be comparable to, I think it's it's the killing agent in lethal injection that does the same thing. It basically stops all cellular function.
We also have the fact that Euro experiments on a guy in his 80s who has been in a permanent state of REM sleep. Literally, he's just been asleep for the past several years.
Yeah, and he's just testing random shit on him to try to wake him up, basically.
He has come to consider this old man to be his nemesis.
He just lays there and does nothing, and thus he is the nemesis.
This is like the world's saddest comic book. I'll get you, Rip Van Winkle.
But then here's the wonderful thing. Euro's stress simulations. Because, well, as I say here, it's the most ingenious and evil concepts ever brought to bear against the human mind. This is what you, as a handler, can definitely do to your agents if they get captured by Majestic. The simulations rate in severity from 1 to 10.10. Initially, you get informed that your relative has died in a violent death and get shown it.
Subject is implicated in murder.
Implicated in treason activities. Subject is forcibly detained, searched, and beaten for, no reason.
Oh, the mock executions, by the way.
Oh, there's two of them.
Yeah, well,
there's two
also,
scenarios.
subject is informed of a nuclear terrorist attack on DC as a faked television broadcast is made.
Okay.
Terminal disease scenario 1. Given extensive medical exams, some of which are bafflingly strange by medical doctors, or military doctors. After a prolonged time and exhaustive series of tests, they're informed they are suffering from extensive bone cancer and have less than 3 weeks to live.
Then there's scenario 5.
Yeah, terminals in which they do normal testing. On the 4th day, after a prolonged period without contact in the locker room, subject is visited by several people in biohazard suits who say the facility has been contaminated with an agent and that many of the staff are dead, and they're left in a room for 1 day without food or water to consider the situation.
Are you sure this isn't just them going, hey, we should totally do? I had this original Batman RPG because there's a Batman RPG. I was going to have you take on the Scarecrow. Can we just reuse the shit I cooked up for this?
Oh, it gets worse. So, several scenario for assassinating the president. In which, yes, you've been informed for a special mission that your target's the president. Alien intrusions.
Assassination scenario. One of my personal favorites is disjointed environmental scenario 1.
7.9. The subject is drugged in the evening meal and left naked and without identification or currency in a foreign locale.
Yeah, they just do that. By
The
the way,
closest structure is some sort of mock-up, and the inhabitants are actors.
Oh, no, the other ones are good. Disjointed environment scenario 2, in which you are transported and left naked on the Bikini Atoll. The small island is completely abandoned except for several small concrete buildings which are crumbling. And now you think that's bad. Scenario 3, they are sent to an Arctic relay station. There are enough supplies to last indefinitely, no radio or transport, or a map. On a wall are a series of slashes to indicate the last resident, whoever they were, spent 3 years there.
There's also subjects buried alive.
Which, yeah. And
Some of
which,
these are fantastic.
wait, there is a small fan that blows air on the subject's head. Occasionally, the fan stops working.
I'm surprised they don't have the actual classic Chinese water torture, because that one actually is quite disturbing.
That's easy. Simulated schizophrenic degeneration.
You say it's easy, but it's like actually quite effective.
Like simulated schizophrenic degeneration. Where's the other one? Forced participation scenario 1. You're forced to hold a gun at the place of an elderly man tied to a chair. The subject is told if they do not fire the gun, they will both be killed. Both guns are unloaded. Then 5, it's a child, and both guns are loaded.
Yeah.
Then there's simulated aging.
This
The
one is
sub-
wild.
Subject wakes after a blank period confined to a bed. Attendants treat them as if they are senile and aged. The television and all items of the room seem somehow differently designed. The date if asked is 40 years into the future. No explanation of the jump is given. Just a match. He's
That
tested
one
this
is
on people.
fucking amazing. Like just to throw out a player group.
Because keep in mind that these are not like prospective agents. These are just the people they get their fucking hands on.
Then you know
Yep.
what you could do though. So if it's 40 years and it's the 90s, play the scenario in 2034. And it's just you're playing in the 90s and you're getting everything right. Which tells you, how did he get everything right?
I think a funnier shit post would have been, okay, so this is 50s Delta Green, and you wake up with the retro futuristic take on the year 2000. Ooh. Where it's like clearly wrong, but it's exactly what you would expect based on what you understand from the 1950s.
Yeah. Oh, and then 10.10, which is Alien Invasion Scenario 4. It is that the television is being broadcasting emergency reports of relentless
Th-
assaults against all
This
countries.
one's kind of similar to some of the other ones. I didn't find that one interesting because of that.
I know, but it's the fact that it is primarily just supposed to be so accurate that, yeah, you would believe that the aliens are invading the Earth.
I mean, keep in mind he also has like mind control drugs he's feeding you, so it's also like a little easier to get you to believe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like that one, and also it's not as creative as Buried Alive with the fan.
No. Again, the favorite one is again faking that the place they're at, someone's lived there for 3 years.
That one's also pretty good.
That one is pretty great. I think Alien Intrusion Scenario 6 is also fantastic.
I have another.
The subject is
Here's
paralyzed
a
and nerve
stupid one. You get transplanted to a childhood recreation of your home
Yeah.
and
Oh,
hometown
Yep.
with body doubles to mimic the people. Like, oh no, you woke up in time.
your believing that your entire life is just a fabrication of a dream.
Alternatively, they simulate the night floors.
Well,
I mean, with the
actually,
amount
that'd
of
be quite.
drugs they pump into your veins, I think they could.
Yeah. Now, I do like this. So if you do try to investigate them normally, you will be detected, and if you are convinced to meet them in an abandoned area, shot to death by a sniper. If not, home invasion.
Black bagged.
Yep.
You're gonna get black bagged, basically.
Then here's the question: how do your characters get involved with Dr. Euro? Well, he might defect, might double cross. You might have had an agent that disappeared and then joins up. You might, in fact, roleplay that agents are compromised, that they don't remember their time there, but they just know they got to feed intelligence to Majestic. They're unknowingly manipulated.
I will say that I because they're trying to make it so that this one's kind of bouncing off of me harder than the other ones. I think a lot of it is just because in my head I'm like, I don't know. There's just something with it I'm bouncing off of a bit.
I mean, the other thing you could also do is as a Delta Green cleanup. They find in these files what's going on, how many people he's probably tortured. It's like, all right, we're gonna give you machine guns. Go to that island and kill everybody on there.
I think my problem is
Some of it's
just that
also to
I think my problem is it's just like at the end of the day, this one's just kind of lacking creativity compared to the ones in the like. There's some I don't know how to explain it.
lacking creativity. It's a goddamn mind control facility that is running stupid fucking scarecrow experiments on people. That's pretty.
I think that's the problem. I'm like, what is he gonna do? This old man gonna get into a fucking scarecrow outfit, and you're gonna have to like just you have sound effect battles with him or some shit.
Well, here's the thing. You remember the one that turns him into a homicidal rage?
That's
Drop that into a
basically
school.
anti-fear.
No, just drop it into a school.
I mean, that's what Jonathan Crane does. By the way, did you know he has an anti-fear agent that has similar effects? Like, this is literally the fucking... I think that's the thing that's fucking with me in this one.
Also, Angel Royo, Majestic is not around in the up until 2001.
They're
They-
around-ish, but they kind of go roguish, kind of.
Well, there's a
More
coup.
accurately,
There's a coup. They get
coup within. Yeah.
and Delta Green absorbs them. But
yeah, I think that's my ultimate issue. It's like in my head, I'm seeing this and I'm like, okay, so you have the guy dressed as Batman, and you're gonna beat up this old person, and he's gonna be like, I'm gonna kill you, Scarecrow, and he's like at 20 sanity.
No, do you guess what sanity Dr. Albert Euro is at?
Probably pretty, surprisingly high.
55.
I mean, he's more sane than Jonathan Crane ever was.
The funniest bit about that is that's his starting sanity.
No, that's his current sanity.
Willpower? Yeah, 11. So that would be, in fact, his starting sanity.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, he has, like, no morals then.
Yeah, he has 0 morality.
Yeah, he's never been bothered by anything he's done over all of the... How many years? 50?
Yeah, about so. And then you have a bunch of other people that you can gauge with, some of whom he has experimented on. Like, what was this guy here? Dr. John Baker, U.S. Army Medical Research Institute of Infectious Diseases doctor. Whatever Euro did to him in his interview, he never speaks of it, and he's now deathly afraid of confined spaces and can't even wear a seatbelt without suffering a panic attack.
I think I know what my problem is. This is too on the nose. This is too, like, literally the Scarecrow from Batman. I think that's what's fucking with me. There's just something about this that I don't like. Like, it's neat, but this doesn't feel like the other stuff we read, you know?
I see. But next up, though, is a Phenomenex, which
I love these guys. I love them so much.
They are tied with an actual Delta Green operation, so not to spoil players. What I will say
is, run into one of their crews in one of the operations.
The starting incident is an event on May 5th, 1997, about UFO sightings in Groversville. We will skip over what happened there, what they experienced. What happened, though, is that out of the 7 members of Phenomenex that went there, 1 came back. And he saw things. He has the videotapes of what he saw there. And he now realizes that his late night cable show that was basically
it's a ghost hunter.
X.
No, it's ghost hunters. Like, you know, I don't necessarily believe in ghosts. Oh, we're going to rig it so that there's, like, some doubts. Oh, you can believe it if you want. It's that sort of fraudulent thing.
But I want to note, Frank has an entire file on everything that went down in Groversville.
Everything.
Yep, that's why I'm kind of trying to skip through a little bit. Like,
you will go to
it's
page
a big adventure.
164.
Yeah. So the best way to describe Phenomenex is it is effectively Ghost Hunters. It took place after he watched the News Magazine show 2020 while looking at Weekly World News, and that kind of gives you the vibe of what they were going for. It's a late night television show where it's 1 part interview and 1 part ghost hunting. And it did fine up until the Groversville incident.
Then suddenly staff got, like, the dream job offers. They died mysteriously in accidents. All this other fun stuff was happening. Meanwhile, here's Frank.
And, oh, no, don't forget, there's the anonymous tips.
They kept coming in now.
And it is both Majestic and Delta Green giving him anonymous phone calls.
Basically put, this poor motherfucker is the stool pigeon.
See, this one I like a lot more, and a lot of it has to do with it takes something in real life, and it's not like stolen from an actual fucking comic book. I don't know, that just it fucks with my head. This is something that you can see. This is basically Art Bell. This is Art Bell after the accident.
Okay, So, if you don't know what a stool pigeon is, it was an old thing that was done when we used to have passenger pigeons in the United States, where you'd nail the feet of a pigeon down on a stump to attract other pigeons down to get shot.
Yeah, he's a honeypot. A better term
Basically,
for this
yeah,
would be
yeah,
honeypot.
a honeypot, but I think a stool pigeon's just as good because, well, it's gonna
Yeah.
die.
Yes, because, well, if Majestic's calling you, then this is to get Delta Green agents to follow up on tips and get killed. Delta Green
And
calls them up so that Phenomenon X researches it and sees if it's actually important for their involvement.
basically, again, Delta Green's contacting them to see if there's something actually supernatural. Majestic's contacting them to lure out Delta Green so they can wipe them all out.
And it's even funnier when you realize there's actual copycats too that are involved.
And
Yep.
here's the other. Frank, was it Karen Cola, believes that Q's calling him.
It's
Basically,
he
yes.
calls it the group.
Yes, someone in the group is feeding him what is essentially Q drops. If this guy was alive today, he
would have a Twitter, and he would be the most insufferable person you know, and probably have a show selling supplements.
He would be banned off of he would have been banned off of YouTube in 2017, and he would have been on Rumble before he got caught for some really fucking stupid scandal.
This is the man that David Wilcock would believe.
Yes.
And it wouldn't be a scam.
Yes. Like flat out.
This is the dude who would basically sell you, oh god, wise money is real. as he talks about how Bigfoot is out in there in the woods and he's gonna molest you. And he's gonna send his ghost hunters out to take pictures of Bigfoot, and then you will not see the snuff film that happens afterward where half the team is killed by Majestic agents.
Now,
because they were actually Delta Green agents that infiltrated.
This is an alternative to playing as Delta Green. Maybe you don't want to play as government agents. Maybe you don't want to deal with all that. You just want to play Scooby-Doo or Ghost Hunter, whatever.
I think Ghost Hunters is more their feel. Or alternatively, okay, hear me out. To catch a predator, but it's like to catch Cthulhu. Have a seat, Elder. Have a seat, Elder One. Have a seat. So, you're trying to break the boundaries between the mortal and the imperishable world again. Look, I just want to have a talk.
That's right.
So, okay. So what happened? So basically, how you would run a game like this for Phenomenon X is: have you ever seen this shitty found footage horror movie called Grave Encounters?
No.
It's basically about how there's a group of people with a fake ghost hunting show that end up going to an actual real ghost location and they all die.
Another example would be Blair Witch Project.
Blair
Witch Project is less of that. Blair Witch Project is a bunch of kids in the woods looking around for
college art students that were trying to do like a documentary, but similar concept. It's just
like all those like Bigfoot Hunter or Loch Ness Monster Hunter or whatever. Or
oh my god,
oh my god! What's the island with the treasure in it?
That's the Curse of Oak Island. But I'm reminded of this show. You need to see it if you haven't seen it. I know this is a complete distraction and a complete diatribe. Mountain Monsters. It is the fakest goddamn
show you will
ever see
I think
in your
so.
life.
I think I remember...
No, I've seen an episode of it. It's such a meme.
I think I remember Rooster Teeth, one of the Rooster Teeth podcasts talking about this. Shout out Rooster Teeth, by the way.
There's like episode footage on YouTube. Like, it's not like you can piece together, and it's no longer such a meme.
It's no longer on the air. They everything they did was fake. It was... aside from one bit, which was that one of their cast members, who was an elderly man, had died, but one of his big projects was to try to track down if there was a wild wolf population in West Virginia.
Oh.
So basically they had a whole episode about how they were trying to find proof of what he was pretty sure was the case. And they did in fact find, get evidence, like photographic evidence, of a wolf pack that was living in West Virginia.
No, that's actually wholesome.
It's the
Yes,
only
it's
episode they didn't lie their asses off on.
basically yes. It was that guy's like lifelong passion project was to try to track down and see if they were getting back in the area.
No, that's
So
positive, but
that's that,
still,
but the rest of it was so fucking fake. Oh my god. Uh, you have to understand. Me and my dad stumbled on this show like while we're flipping through channels, and we stopped because they're talking about like the Snallygaster, right?
Oh
And the
yeah,
guy that
that
they're
fucking
talking
thing.
to,
The
yes,
Maryland dragon. For those wondering, it's a old mythological creature from the Maryland region, the Tidewater. It it is legitimately on a scale of Nessie to suburban Sasquatch.
of Nessie to the fucking squonk.
It's like on
If
the
you don't
lower
know,
tier. It's like in the
it's,
bottom
it's
5% in
so
terms of
bad.
like genuine. Like you have to be legitimately smooth brained to think this thing's real.
Yes, it okay. So so they have a guy and he's talking about supposedly this encounter he's had in the woods, and it sounds to me more of like what we're because we're trying to figure out what this is about, right? Uh, and so it sounds like he saw something, he heard something weird in the woods. We're thinking, okay, is this a Bigfoot thing? And then they took to him, and this is the line, and this is delivery, 100%. Have you ever heard of a Snallygaster? And the guy's immediate response was no, just like immediate.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't really think of that because it's like the equivalent of
You
the
want to
things you
know?
put on medieval maps.
All right, all right. So you want another plan for catching the Snallygaster?
Sure.
They were putting a box up in a tree attached to a rope, and they were going to drop the box on it.
how big is the Snallygaster?
That was no like a big shipping crate style of wooden box. Like we're talking an actual Looney Tunes sketch. Was their plan to catch this thing?
So if you want to do that, but then it turns out it's a
It,
Shoggoth.
and then it turns out, by the way, they then go out at night armed and end up wildly firing shotguns as they're running around screaming in the woods in the dark. It is one of the best episodes of television I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
And the best
You
part
owe it to
is
yourself to watch it.
I was gonna make a joke about me being visited by the actual fucking Snallygaster because I got pulled away for a little bit, but nah, that's even like you can't even joke after them running in the woods, potentially killing random varmints that are in trees.
Like it was one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen in my life.
I'm just envisioning like it then cuts to the back where it's like they
They-
can't even say no animals were harmed in the making. It's like you just see like the Vietnam War
just
memorial
know.
of
We
all the
just
it
possums
gets
and
even
it's like
in the
better.
arms of an angel.
So they have like they also have like stupid titles like Trapper, like all this stupid fucking names. One of them gets possessed by a Bigfoot at one point. It is the stupidest show you will
What?
ever see in your goddamn life.
Ghost Bigfoot?
Yes, Demon Bigfoot.
that is
That is
an
a thing.
actual thing in Bigfootology, and it's like the foot fetish of the Bigfoot world.
Supernatural Bigfoot stuff. We should just do a lore ramblings at some point where we just sit down and we just talk about our just love for the weirdest people online, which is cryptid researchers and alien people, because they are so much fun.
Well, they're fun. They're fun until they get outed or made fun of for being scammers, and then they inevitably drink and or just take a gun and end it because they have a habit of doing that.
No. They never. No, they were stopped for revealing the truth.
The man got to them. It isn't like that they were suicidal and they were just trying to let's move on. Let's
Yeah,
move on.
Campion has a pretty high kill count just because he busts these guys.
I mean, Cambion.
We need to. You know what? Then yeah, we'll need Art Bell, David Wilcock, Steve Cambion, the irate gamer.
Also, don't feel
Yeah.
bad, Steve Cambion. I'm not saying it because they were gonna probably do it anyway. Since the reason a lot of these people believe in this sort of
Wilcock
stuff.
was already
He was mentally
unstable.
ill.
He
Well,
was mentally
on top
ill.
of that, the people that usually believe that it's an attempt to feel like they've accomplished something in life, like they're discovering something, they're doing something. and then to just watch it
Yeah.
burn. That's what usually happens. It's the same logic for conspiracy theorists. They're ignorant and they want to feel like they're not. So
Yeah. I mean,
it's unfortunate.
But Angel, Appalachian guys and vloggers are both hired as freelancers for this company, and conflict
Oh
ensues.
no, I have the dumbest idea for a Phenomenex
All right.
shitpost run.
oh
Okay.
no, it's Jake Paul.
Oh no, you're going with that. Okay, hear me out. You're not thinking big brained enough.
All right.
Phenomenex is an American spin-off from HoloLive, and it's just a bunch of fucking VTuber rigs going out into the wilderness.
Okay, no, Pipkin Pippa. Just
It's Space Connect because we need them to be mentally ill.
Immediately, as soon as Pipkin goes outside, roll sanity. Oh no, you've
Roll
lost
sanity.
4 sanity just because. What is that? What is that big infinite blue?
I would
Big
get one of the
infinite
Walmart.
blue. It goes on forever.
This isn't like the Walmart I was planning on going to.
Speaking of which,
So
I
I
got
could buy my
recommended
Hot Wheels.
recently because I occasionally destroy my brain with shorts via sanity. There's oh god, I don't know the name of this one. They were dressed as a sock and had an existential crisis and or mild breakdown by comparing themselves to their sibling.
okay, no, I don't know this one.
Uh,
By the way,
I
speaking
I
of
think it's
socks,
called Chibi or something.
Oh,
It's the one with the cross eyes.
Oh, Chibidoki.
Chibidoki?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chibidoki
she
is
had a
putting on
mild
she's putting
emotional
on a front.
crisis apparently because my sister's actually accomplishing things in life. She's employed, and what am I? I'm a fucking sock.
She's
Yeah.
doing an act.
That is
Chibi
yeah.
is like
It
that.
was an act, but it was just pretty funny. Like,
Chibi's great. Chibi's acts are fucking great, though. She's actually pretty good at it.
but no, you could if you wanted to, just like come on. Or alternatively, okay, hear me out. For maximum stupidity, LOLCal
BFG.
Live goes hunting Bigfoot.
I mean,
Keemstar
that's
and
something.
Boogie fucking do.
No, I think it's funnier though if we get like Logan Paul, Andrew Tate, the bro podcast influencer pickup artist guys.
No, IP2, the IP2
Joe Rogan.
crowd.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan would also be.
No, actually, Joe Rogan would be perfect for this.
He would be because he's the one that would believe all this bullshit.
Well,
He's one of the funniest.
He doesn't believe it, but he'd be like, "I'm open to this."
No, he kind of
No,
does.
it's him, Joey Diaz, Eddie Bravo, and then let's have Brendan Schaub there so he dies first.
Just get like some random fucker that just like, yeah, there you go.
It's Mr. Beast's new challenge. Survive the fucking Wendigo.
No, okay, hear me out. The previous one was the Scarecrow, but hear me out. Mr. Beast builds a government black site agency. And he live streams it. It's basically they used Scarecrow. They used Scarecrow. My inspiration is Arcade from Marvel, who is the serial killer who does like the fucking Jigsaw style puzzle games.
All right. I'm kind of vibing with this one. I kind of like.
It's
this
like
idea
the Cube.
Yeah. Is the Cube that one movie with like Jennifer Lopez? Or...
It might be. It's the murder maze movie.
Then no, that's not the one I was thinking of.
No, the Cube is the murder maze movie where it kind of ends with like them fucking each other over and they all die.
No, I was thinking of a weird artsy movie about going into a serial killer's head or something like that. Which
that's a very different movie. Which would also be.
Yeah.
That's a very different movie. Yeah.
But so a few things if you are going to be playing as Phenomenex, especially in this era, no smartphones.
No smartphones.
They don't.
What you're going to have is a PDA if you're lucky.
Yep, and it's the point where they do have the skills of videography and video production.
Yep, specifically their craft skills.
And they do give us sample stories. Perhaps a haunted hotel on Long Lake. A investigation near the Pinelands Reserve about an odd human creature. Or people who have spontaneously exploded that worked in the crime organizations in New York City.
That's an interesting one. They also kind of, for whatever reason, they walked back from it, but it's pretty clear that the second story was an attempt to do the New Jersey Devil.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm
they
just
kind of walked
imagining
back on that one for some reason.
I'm imagining Steven Azales just being like, "Yeah, I'll have an interview." It's just so mind and soul shattering.
No, it's not even mind and soul shattering. It's just the most normal man you can imagine having the most normal interview possible. And then 3 days later, you find out that the camera crew has gone missing. Like everyone involved with the interview, except for Stefan, has gone missing and no one knows where they are.
Or alternatively, you find them like 3 weeks later covered in their own filth.
And then you find them like three weeks later, you find them incredibly confused, slightly insane,
covered
and
in their own
babbling on
filth.
about something. Yeah.
All these squares make a circle. All these...
A few other.
They drank an entire gallon of LSD before they went out to fight Bigfoot. I didn't even
So
know where
I
they
do
got
love.
it.
I do love the characters they have in here, though. The
Yeah, this one's more my
these are
jam.
a
This one's
great,
much more my jam. Because the black
great
site,
group.
that's a cool idea, but it kind of feels stapled on after the other stuff, you know?
So we got Frank Carancola, who's a pill popping addict that
He's not actually an addict.
well he's a paranoid. He
The
is
pills
one
he's
sanity
popping.
away from a breaking point.
Yeah,
Yes, because he just saw everyone that he knows die.
Out,
Like,
yeah.
not
Then
only
you have
that, but his news show, you know, the thing that he kind of prided himself on because he was on there for a while. It's literally being used by like some black site, you know, New World Order helicopter shit to lure people to their deaths, and he probably knows that.
so
uh,
he exclusively drinks
hey,
only
hey,
bottled water.
can't trust the fluoride.
Oh no, he
Can't
also
just
takes
fluoride.
horse pills like Joe Rogan.
Yes, he does. He takes them every fucking day.
He takes horse pills. He's
He,
Then we have
hunchbacked.
yeah.
he is,
Then
of
we
course,
have
nearly blind, fucking crazy. The funniest bit about this is that he can actually speak 2 languages and is not a terrible shot.
I would assume you know
Yeah,
A
it's not too
32
shabby.
revolver, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, surprise human combustion. No mythos involved. People just do that sometimes when exposed to the American diet.
Yeah, it's that MSG. When the MSG happens, it's just like it's like hypergolic fuel, man. You explode into a nuclear fireball and give everyone around you cancer.
We have Alan Eddington. He's covered wars, you know.
Well, he has. He was in Tet. He also got fucking hit by a bullet in Sarajevo.
Not
Yep.
only that, but Lebanon during its collapse, Khmer Rouge,
Yeah, the
Sandinista
dude,
Contras fights.
honestly, that he's also only one away from breaking.
Here's
You
the
have
fucked up thing. Apparently, the dude legitimately took Phenomenex specifically to take a break
oh
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
in 1997. So he signed up right after Groverfield.
We've got who else we have here?
Hoggard.
Hoggard. He's just a drug-addled writer.
This is actually the cocaine addict.
Oh
This is
no,
a cocaine
he
addict.
already had a sanity breaking point because his original willpower was 11. He's kind of destroyed.
Yeah. Then
Well,
you
he's got
have
addiction. Yeah,
David Carmichael, who's a former game show host.
Oh, is this a
this
reference
guy's
to the
fun.
Jeopardy host?
His clothing is out of date, though spotless, and his hair is caught forever in a coiffed 1980s swoop, making him look like an off-the-rack used car salesman.
He was on
By the
Hollywood
way,
Squares
his
for a
wife
while.
left him. Yep.
Then we have Sonia Dewey. Yeah, she's a you know
Literally her
smart,
first
tough
job.
chick persona. Yep, first. So she
Oh, you
doesn't really give a
you
shit.
poor bastard.
Yep. And then you have Thomas Prendergast.
I
He's
love this
us.
guy.
He is
I
us.
love this dude.
No, actually no. He is you, Tech Priest. An avid role player, conspiracy nut, science fiction enthusiast. Tommy received his first behind the scenes look at Phenomenex after his cousin brought him to see what a day on the job would look like. He kept showing up
I
day
think
after
Pendergast
day.
is also a reference to a Lovecraft work. I forget the
No,
one.
you're thinking Tillingast.
Yeah, I am.
He believes in so he is now a minimum wage slave responsible for every conceivable minutia around the studio. His favorite shows besides Phenomenex are Star Trek, Voyager, and The X-Files. They've also contributed to his sexual fantasy, which
Wait a
revolves
minute.
heavily
This
speaking
is
around
that this
Cherry.
is that weirdo otaku weirdo from the Ace Attorney games that you run into in the Silver Samurai case.
Most likely. So this is a hopeless nerd.
And
That
mild sex pest.
he is trying to get his crew of friends to be a veritable Baker Street regulars. Should a story
No,
erupt in Los Angeles?
They
Yeah.
are a big group of Baker
Oh
Street
no, I
regulars.
just realized what you could play this guy. Okay, hear me out. Instead of Prendergast, it's the Lightbringer. There he is. It's the guy. Take his coat.
They just... Wait, no, languages.
Klingon 23%.
Yes. I
What's
love
funny?
this guy.
What's funny? I realize here he has an occult of 47%.
The
Not
funniest bit is
surprised.
he thinks he has a chance with the reporter.
The bisexual reporter, by the way.
Yes.
Well,
He's dating a woman.
bisexual doesn't necessarily mean like you're doing the mistake where like.
Well, no, it says bisexual in there, but whatever.
No,
The-
No,
it's just
that means she swings both ways, but in this case,
she ain't swinging towards Tommy.
that ain't fucking
Tommy
happening
is-
anyway.
that
Even
ain't
if she
fucking
wasn't
happening.
But
dating.
the thing is,
it's still really
but
funny.
here's the thing, because if you play this right, you will have that character find out that she's bi, and she's like, "So hey, you want a threesome?"
No. I'm thinking more Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance?
By the way, she has 3 fan websites dedicated to her on the internet.
All run by him.
Probably all run by him. Yeah.
You know what? Another language they should have given him at like a lower level than Klingon. They should like 11% Sindarin.
No, because he's 22. He's not into that old fogey fantasy shit. He will be if he lives to the 2000s.
True. Sci-fi, and there's not. I'm trying to think. Is there any other language besides Klingon that he could? 5% Huttese? I don't know.
Elvish.
We said Sindarin. That is Elvish.
It is Elvish. It is the language of the Grey Elves, and most common and the most complete language Tolkien ever wrote.
Yeah, no, I mean he is playing local games, so he probably is playing Traveler.
No. He is playing fastest Star Trek: The Ship Battle version.
Oh.
He is playing Star Trek's Fleet Battle game.
He hasn't gotten to Warhammer yet, but he has the old Star Wars miniatures, the metal ones.
He has heard of Warhammer, but he says it's nothing compared to a properly tuned game of GURPS. This man feels like the sort of guy who would play GURPS.
He will, though, love Halo.
He also has an unarmed of 40%, which is surprising for him.
I think everyone has an unarmed of 40%.
No, that's above average. That means you actually have some training.
No,
that's your baseline.
Really?
Yeah, that's.
Yep.
Interesting.
Well, you can punch things. You can push your body.
I know, but it's just like it's weird because I think it's my Call of Cthulhu messing with me because at 40% that means you're kind of proficient, you know?
So, yeah, but still. Next is Tiger Transit.
Amazon, if it was more obvious about being evil.
Yes, it is an low-profile international shipping company that has ties to the U.S. intelligence community because it was a CIA front.
Yeah, this is effectively the equivalent of the mafia shell company, only it's the government.
Well, no. They did this to.
Yeah,
it was Air America. So to get guns into Southeast Asia, we made fake companies, deliver them to militia groups in like Cambodia and I think Laos and
Thailand, lot to Thailand.
Yep. Thailand had its own communist rebellion at the time. Yep.
And had no problems, and that had no problems in the future.
In some cases, it didn't.
I think this is also how we got the Hmong people into America.
America area. Speaking of which, this is one of the first references to ICE that this will make, because that's what they work with: Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Oh yeah, no shit.
But yeah, the entire thing is it's the CIA's attempt at gun smuggling.
And the thing is, there was a cult that got involved in this. A cult known as Shurkonism. They worship a great old one. Shurkon, the augur, the creator, the destroyer, the herald of death.
And specifically, the way that it got involved,
There's another cult, the Brotherhood of New Potential.
which is
It's a
Shub
Shub
Niggurath.
Niggurath cult. Yep.
yep. But that's
So do
the.
you want to play?
Let him finish. There's another thing that
go.
Tech was trying to bring in.
There's another
Yeah.
thing that's kind of linked to this, and it's a specific ethnic group that lives in Southeast Asia.
Oh fuck! I forgot it's the Cho-Cho.
It's the Cho-Cho.
Yeah. I don't think the Cho-Cho show up in this though.
They do.
They do in
Oh,
this
they
one.
do.
Yeah, this is a Cho-Cho front, which makes sense because there is a third cult that they were a part of called the True Love Study group, which is a death cult.
That is the same as the
Nope, it's from
Oh,
the
yeah.
Labyrinth book. It's a different cult.
Oh yeah.
So 3
Um,
death
They
cults.
modified it a bit from the original, where it was very much just a Cho-Cho front. This version
in this case,
of it is
it's that cult were able to get into the U.S. through this.
Well, I mean, not
Yes.
only that, but here's another thing. They kind of highlight other horrible things these guys do. For example, these guys were involved in Operation Condor. What's that, you ask? That's the official name of the U.S. involvement in dictatorships regimes in South America, killing their fucking people during the Dirty Wars.
Yep.
If you were a Mexican student, a Chilean dissident against
No.
This
This was not Central America. No, this was South America.
It also involved Mexico to a lesser degree. The
Probably.
Dirty Wars were kind of a thing that happened throughout Latin America. Mainly because there was a massive financial shit that happened in the 70s. Yeah, because they were tied to the American dollar, and on top of that, because of their industry.
Oh, that wasn't the 70s. That was the 80s.
No, it was the 70s. The 70s is when a lot of them started to fall apart. Argentina fell apart. Mexico entered its own spiral at that point. Chile had a coup over this sort of stuff. The 70s were known as the decade of horror amongst most Latin American countries.
Yeah, basically put, their economies were already pretty shaky, and then the general
Because it
global
was
economic
extraction-based
downturn.
mostly.
Yeah, then the general global economic downturn of the 70s, exacerbated by the oil crisis and a few other things like the Suez Canal being closed until 73.
And on top of that, communist agitation, because the most of these countries had issues already because they were dictatorships.
Don't forget Peru, where the poor fucking hated the communists.
Well,
yeah. They kept killing them. But the Shirakans primarily have moved into Chicago's new Chinatown.
Yep. There's actually quite a few Southeast Asian ethnic enclaves all over the Midwest.
Oh yeah, more than you think. I think the largest
Hmong
population. Yeah, I think the largest Hmong
population. Large Hmong population, a very large Nepalese population as well. Thai, Cambodian, you name it.
Now, there was an operation during the cowboy years to deal with these. They were gutted through targeted assassinations and deportations. Because, as both this book and a recent Supreme Court decision pointed out, that only children of the community born in the United States could not be deported as they were natural-born citizens under the 14th Amendment. And because of this, the parents abandoned these children.
As you do. They also go into details about what percentage of their shipping is legal and what isn't. It's much like most crime fronts. Most of it's legal. Most of it is on board, or at the very least within the written definition of the law. About 5% isn't. A little over. And there's a bunch of shell companies that are technically fronts for them, too, as well. They got headquarters in Miami, Memphis, Seattle, Washington, D.C., and San Francisco. And they actually go into what were the real-life inspirations, which were, well, the CIA-backed fronts to get people out during the Vietnam War and to send guns over. They also reference what is it? The Brown and Williamson Tobacco Corporation. which got into some nasty trouble because they gave this particularly nicotine-laced version of tobacco to Brazil, where it's still grown today. By the way, it's illegal, and it is also illegal under Brazilian law at the time.
I
They
was not
just
aware of
give
that.
examples of the Americans and
Yeah.
just like other companies pulling shady shit.
But-
But the big thing is the worship of Shukaran.
So
Yep.
one of the leaders, though, has lived around for a few hundred years through cannibalistic rituals.
Chocho be like
As you
that.
do.
Yep. And he's using the orphans, I believe, of the now abandoned children, or of those Shirokan families,
I
to
mean,
do
no
his
one
bidding.
cares, so might as well, you know.
He intends
Also,
for
they disguise themselves.
yeah.
They disguise themselves as a variant of Hinduism or Buddhism, depending on the community. Which actually does make sense, disturbingly, especially if they're pretending to be Hindu, because among the Hindu pantheon there is thousands of local gods. So it's not exactly hard if you're like a weird fucking Eldritch cult. It's not hard to find one of the many Vedic deities to disguise yourself as.
So what he needs, though, is he's going to take this young woman to join the cult, find a male follower who has great spiritual strength, and teach the man the Feast of Remembrance, allowing him to consume her brain in turn, absorbing both her memories and another man in the cult.
Oh, and for those wondering, Shokuran is actually possibly one of the thousands of masks of Nyarlathotep.
Who
Now, however,
knows?
in this case, the woman absorbed his brain. So she's now seeking out, though, someone powerful. Joseph Berg, the CEO of Tiger Transit.
And they go into
Yeah.
details about him.
Got drawn to the cult.
Mostly because he was in contact with the Shokuran cultists through, the CIA program of arming various ethnic groups in Vietnam to fight the Viet Cong.
Oh no, it's funnier than that. He's basically Principal Skinner from The Simpsons in that he got shot down over Laos and was essentially captured by them. And this is the equivalent of, I still can't quite get the fish stew that those Vietnamese.
I still can't quite get the spices.
It's like that, but with human flesh and learning the Aklo language.
Yep.
So, but now he's got somebody who does know the language and can produce the drug.
He finally got the Vietnamese spices to make that fish stew he keeps craving. Is it perhaps my decisions that led to this cult almost exterminating humanity?
He did
it is
initially
the Americans who are wrong.
He did initially run into some problems. Namely, he started firing all of the non-Shirokan staff that were in his employment, and this led to several Equal Employment Opportunity Commission lawsuits.
Well, not only that, but he also burned the roast, so he had to get some crusty burgers to, sell to his boss, the steamed hands. I'm sorry, I'm just seeing him as Skinner now. I'm sorry.
So
it's just something in my brain.
he has now given that woman power of attorney, as he is in a drug-fueled haze, and now this woman is selling street drugs.
She's created a drug operation known as the Tong Shukuran.
Which is not the first time that a federal government had an agency do that. And I don't mean just outside of the country, because originally Mexico's own equivalent of the FBI was disbanded because of them basically being so deep in the goddamn drug trade that, the moment they got disbanded by the Mexican government, they became some of the newest generations of cartels. No. The U.S. also did this, just not as often.
So, something like Reverb. It is a powder that has hint of the liao in it that causes a reverberation of sensory input.
If you're curious, Lao is from the Black Lotus, and it's just stuff. It's basically a magical flower from the Plateau of Leng. Kind of.
It lets you see into the future and a bunch of other shit.
And of course, because you could see into the future, you might end up seeing things you shouldn't, or things seeing you.
Right. Specifically, the hounds, the
Pay
dogs.
attention to Pay attention to the corners. So that's what you could be tracking down. A bunch of drug-fueled crazed cultists, or drug-fueled addicts, and the cultists who believe in a cannibal god.
Well, it's even funnier than that because he becomes so fucked up on the drug, he actually goes full. He goes full clown. He basically breaks federal laws involving child labor. He just basically
Yep.
takes children off the street and has them work everything.
Yep.
But
In
then
any
we
case,
have the Brotherhood of the New Potential.
yes. So effectively speaking, uh, Shukaran is in contact with these guys, right? Specifically their, patron deity, Shub-Niggurath. So they're kind of working together now to a degree so they can produce more Liao.
And the reason that this happened is because here's the thing: the Chocho selling magical Eldritch crack to people. That's more their version of ayahuasca. It's supposed to be for them to commune with their dark god. This is not what you're supposed to do. So her communities were cutting her off. So she worked with the Shub-Niggurath cultists to find a new source.
And these people are, well,
there's something.
yep. The True Love Study group, for instance, used human sacrifice to their gods.
Shub-Niggurath again.
Because they're freeing from all conventions of society. This included using a woman. What was it? I believe it was Cynthia. Was it Cynthia Dexter?
Well, okay. So first off, to get into this, she got her source from genetic agricultural products. That's where they're growing the new Black Lotusts, which is run by a member of the True Love Study group, which was a hippie group that basically found the goddess, and the goddess being Shub-Niggurath.
They also had there was a few. They're also just like a group that kind of comes around again and again. Like the first group was disbanded when 4 members arrested in the 40s for soliciting prostitutes. There was one killed themselves using an ingenious self-disembowelment device, which is, I have no idea. That is a turn of phrase I did not think I would see today.
I'd assume that would be what? I mean, you could just
like
a hook.
Like that's what I'm wondering. Is this like a hook on a fucking like spinny gear thing? Is it just like,
I don't know.
like the most bootleg Indian contraption you can imagine?
Spiked pair of anguish designed to rip open the stomach from within.
Could be. But they do find what's called mother's milk. What they found, well, it acted like a growth hormone, but on other ways it acted like a mutagen rearranging DNA and RNA.
And you want to know what they've decided to do with it?
Well, as any good corporation, it could be millions for the bioweapons division.
No.
They drink it.
No. They use it to grow fucking tobacco.
Yep. This is where the whole selling Brazil illegal tobacco comes in as its influence.
And then the Brotherhood comes in, and pretty much now this entire corporation is just running this as a valuable cache known as Fuma Loco, or crazy tobacco.
Yeah.
Twice the level of nicotine. And matures in 5 weeks and can grow anywhere.
It grows basically everywhere. It's amazing.
Even beach sand.
Right.
You know,
which is not fitting for tobacco is a very high intensity crop on the soil. It's not as bad as cotton from what I remember, but it's nasty enough that it doesn't really grow well in sandy soils. Especially since it doesn't tolerate salt well.
But now they have a new plant.
They have a plant. They're trying to grow it. It's now they're also getting into a combination with Tiger Transit. The Chocho are working already with Genetic Agricultural, who are working with these guys, who then decide, what would be a really good idea? What if we use this stuff to grow cocaine?
Coca Loco.
You know, the sad thing is, like, I'm going back to like, this one's less obvious, but you know, this actually reminds me of another Batman villain. Do you want to guess which one?
Which
Black
one?
Mask.
Black Mask is not a bad one. What's your guess?
My best guess is at this point the Joker, because I really cannot think of which one of
The ventriloquist.
oh, that fucker.
He was introduced as a drug-selling mob boss. Specifically, he had a new type of, I forget what type of the drug. It basically was like one part crack and one part LSD.
Yeah. So the thing is, with these drugs, it makes you addicted, potent. It also will end up turning you into a follower of Shep Niggurath.
I will say that they shouldn't have been called Tiger Transit though. I feel like this should have been this group, like in terms of because most of the focus is on this sort of stuff, you know. It's
But they are
fascinating
the
though. I
linking
actually
element.
find this very fascinating though.
They are the linking element. They are the thing that brings it all together.
Yeah, because the way I envision it, this is basically, you could play this as essentially you're taking on an Eldritch triad, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah.
You're basically taking on a Chinese triad.
And also in Chicago, you have the problem of the Hound. What is the
Oh,
Hound?
hounds. Oh,
Well, again, check your. Well, no. Again, all I'll say is check your corners.
Oh, Tindalos. I thought because there's another hound. There's H.P. Lovecraft's The Hound, which is a different entity.
No.
No, I mean there is genuinely a different entity
So,
called the Hound, so you
yeah.
have to specify.
Tiger Transit, though, as they're saying here, is they're the young Turks of unnatural cults. They're not ancient. They're fairly recent, and they're more involved in modern
Everything.
modern vices.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought we were talking about the other version of the Young
No,
Turks.
we're talking the whatever. The point being though that this is a
I like this
very
one.
yes. The only thing they really changed was specifying that it wasn't just an ethnic group involved in this, which used to be just all it's a Chocho conspiracy, which is
Well,
kind of just
the
lame.
reason why they went with an all-ethnic group is not out of racism. It's because most gangs tend to be one ethnic group for a reason.
Right. But the thing with that is the Chocho are let's just say a bit divisive among some people.
Because they're fucking idiots and don't recognize they're a different species of human and actually innately corrupted.
I don't
Right.
know if originally though Lovecraft had made them a different species. Or
He
no,
didn't
Daryl.
make them.
Daryl and yeah, like there's like some people that there's a lot of interpretations of the Chocho out there.
Yeah,
I can think of at least
they're basically a
3.
break off from Heidelberg Man or Erectus, if I recall correctly.
There's at least 3. There's one where it's just normal humans that have grown up in a culture that supports the mythos. There's one where it's a alternate version of humanity, and there's another where they're basically just possessed versions of humans.
I tend to go with the slight subspecies, similar to how Innsmouth technically aren't purely human anymore because of the fish rape.
The hybrids. I mean, that's the problem though, is you get into like hybrids
Well, they're
everywhere.
not hybrids in this case. I envision it similar to how, you know how ghouls are essentially a break off of humanity, like really early on, like in the Australopithecine era. I kind of see them as like a slight fork compared to Homo floresiensis or Neanderthal, but just unfortunately prone to cannibalism. I don't know. I don't know if you should. I do think you should have a sort of potential for nurture to be able to overdo nature, though. Mainly because a great example of that, which Lovecraft does, since people tend to really ignore his stuff, Rats in the Walls is pretty bad in some respects, but keep in mind that the protagonist's son, despite coming from a line of cannibals, was actually an upfront guy. And the line actually was fine until they were stuck at Exum again. So you could probably have Chocho communities not be this, you know? If you're going with the biological thing, you know?
Yeah, usually if I'm running the Chocho, it's probably best to view it as a culture group that just views the various mythos entities as their religious figures, and that's why
my problem
all
is
that
I see them as more of a
tribe.
it's still a tribe and ethnicity then at that point.
It is,
You're
but
still
it's
running
not as
into the issue, and I'm just like, well, at that point, just suck it up, Buttercup. Sometimes
it
things are
doesn't.
ugly.
it doesn't mean that the Chocho as a people are inherently evil. What it means is that they're worshiping evil entities.
Correct. And these
Got
guys
it.
are evil, so you can blast
Yeah.
them.
Got it. So that entirely means I should hate Southeast Asian people.
No.
Correct.
Actually, this could
That-
lead to
that-
a really funny idea. Okay, hear me out. This is a really stupid idea. You have to work. You have to work with like you know the Thai gangs. You have to work with Thai drug runners to kill these guys. You could. I mean, you could do stuff with
yes,
that.
you have to start the Southeast Asian race war. It's like
But yeah.
Balkans posting, except with more fucking heroin somehow.
Well,
So
in
we
this
do.
case, it's like these guys are actual death cult. It's like taking out the thuggy. You know, like you can
Yeah.
cry all you want,
Right.
but like it's an evil culture.
And like pretty much all the characters here.
It's like ripping apart the Aztec religion. It had to go.
Yeah. You got all these people in this Sanity Zero.
Yep.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
because they're
are you
Chocho.
surprised?
They're Chocho.
One of
No,
them's
they're
got
not.
one of them's
They're not all
Nope.
Chocho. Plenty of them are just.
are just American. I was supposed to,
They're
some of
just
plenty of them are
cultists.
human.
Fair enough.
But let's honestly move on from these characters to
I will say that I do really like Tiger Transit because it allows you to do something that it allows you if you want to play more like a noir or like a detective thing. It really kind of scratches that itch, you know.
They're also
Oh, yeah.
fantastic as a way to start getting new characters into Delta Green. Is that they're involved with something like this that has an unnatural element, and that's their contact point.
Yeah, it's a great contact point, but I feel like if you want a slightly different game, like how you mentioned that if you wanted to do something a bit different with Phenomenex, this is one way to kind of have a different tone, and I like it.
So next up, though,
And this one's
the
actually
D-
my favorite of the back half. I actually really like the D stacks.
The D-Stacks is, in fact, fantastic.
So the D-Stacks is your Warehouse 13, your archive of
Your
economic
top men.
men.
Well, before we get into our top men, NDR, honestly, I think people aren't giving the benefit of the doubt because Lovecraft was racist enough for the KKK to ask him to tone it down. He was an anti-Semite and married a Jew, and he actually toned down before he died. People forget
Yeah.
that part, and they also forgot he never named the cat that. That was what his dad named
That was
the
his
fucking
dad.
cat.
Yeah, that
I
was his dad.
loathe these contemptuous fucks who play in his works and then try to decry his shit. Maybe don't fucking work with that. Maybe work on your own idea then, you worthless pile of crap. You fucking never were, you untalented hacks. You know, there's a fucking moron who actually hates Lovecraft and horror that's working on Call of Cthulhu, and she sucks.
Wait. So hold on, wait. She hates.
She
Lo-
doesn't
she
like
hate-
she doesn't like Lovecraft and she doesn't like horror at all, but she's working on fucking Lovecraft.
What is she doing then?
Apparently like weird I forget what the genre is, but it's like stupid.
Like weird fiction
It's
kind
like
of thing?
it's like Velvet Detective shit or whatever. I don't know.
I guess we're trying to get the monster fuckers into this.
Yeah.
That's an April Fool's thing
But
that they
well, no,
should do.
the April Fool's thing is so one of the things they've removed from the Innsmouth splat recently is the implication that the Innsmouth lads have a habit of ravaging innocents.
What?
Yeah, so you know the deep ones apparently they can't procreate if you don't want it.
I mean,
less fish person rape is generally better for your game. I will be.
I can see the alternative where basically now they have
a horror game, motherfucker.
It's a horror game, but like in the essence that these cultists are true believers, and that's at least a way to be more have them be more insane. There's like I want to fuck the fish man.
Innsmouth. It's Innsmouth in
It's Innsmouth.
general.
Actually, wait a minute. They're giving us the opportunity to murder the monster fuckers.
Yes, they are.
I just think they ain't.
Why are you not supporting this?
That's based in red pilled.
But no, like I thought the whole thing about with Innsmouth is what they were talking about. Like from what I remember when I read the story, that it was effectively consensual by that point in Innsmouth. Like
by
they
that
were
point, but it wasn't. But historically, it wasn't for a while. And then on top of that, they do abduct people. They do have a habit of doing that.
They're not.
Yeah, they abduct them and they eat them.
No, they can't eat them without consent either.
I think you're thinking of a different kind of eating.
Yeah, no, I'm joking there. But back to the D
I'm just
stacks.
now envisioning. Oh, I know what she did. Fuck. What's it? It's like the Scarlet Letter. It's like those fucking bodice ripper Victorian stuff. Like I forget the name of it. It's that lady who wrote those books that are famous, but I don't ever read because it just doesn't have the right tone for me to enjoy. What's her name?
So porn.
No, I forget the
I
name of it. It's an actual famous series of novels that I just don't remember who wrote them.
I don't know.
1800s.
Let's who cares? Let's go
Let's
back
get back
to
to good. Sorry, I just wanted to
so
let, let-
complain.
there's a man who's a curator of the uh, American Museum of Natural History in New
Yep.
York. This man is named Jensen Wu. His family
Jensen
is
Wu
his family fled to Manchuria or fled Manchuria
fled
after
from
the Japanese
Manchuria.
army. Tried to got up into America. Um, ended up getting a bachelor's degree in history at the University of Pennsylvania. He got introduced to the unnatural in 1955 after stumbling upon the life of Dr. John Dee, a famed mystic of Edward VI and Queen Elizabeth.
He
He
also
then
was a Kino anime antagonist to the descendant of the guy who took on the Whateleys in the Dunwich Horror, the Doctor. His
yeah,
granddaughter in anime is like half Shogoth.
ew.
Don't
Um,
think about it.
yeah, one portion of that book cited a book called the Necronomicon. It was
Which he
only
found.
he found at the private library of Miskatonic University, which yes means the Delta Green. Miskatonic University actually exists.
Well,
Why
yeah, it
Delta
was
Green
built off of
hasn't
it.
shot that place down, I don't know.
Well, here's the other thing. Other places they'd have to shoot up? Cambridge also has a copy. And there's actually the biblioteca, and there's like a major biblioteca in Mexico that also has. In Lovecraft's world, the Necronomicon does exist, but it's mostly in a very few set of universities. It's mostly the Olaus
Yeah,
Wormius translation.
But so
it's
yeah,
also that it's restricted access at most places because almost all the copies are A, extremely old
and I
and
yeah,
fragile, and B, really fucking rare, so they don't want to risk any
Correct.
kind of damage to them.
and I want to tell you about this guy. He read the book.
You
It
read
was
the
only a
Necronomicon.
mild social aversion, a mild aversion to social interaction.
Well, here's the
He
fun thing. The guy in At the Mountains of Madness read through the whole book too.
oh
Yeah.
William Dyer
It's
read through.
not like it will like it the thing about the Necronomicon is it's never always been like a you read this you go insane. It has
You usually
differing
will take one or
effects.
two sanity point damage,
Like
so
it's mind bending and it's hard to comprehend, but
and it's a bit
for
disturbing in a few
this man
parts.
this man comprehended it.
yeah, this
He
man kind
knows.
of took
He
it like a
knows.
fucking champ.
He knows about the myth cycles. He knows the true origins of life on Earth. He knows about the great old ones and has contacted lesser beings.
Now that takes some impressive skill because the other thing about the Necronomicon is that there are a bunch of signs that you have to look through, and not all incantations will work as you wish.
He knows the existence of Nyarlathotep, Cthulhu, and Yog-Sothoth,
Who are all
which he
written in there.
believes, are the closest to waking from their ageless sleep, and he has dedicated himself to discovering a way to keep them sleeping.
Yeah, the D stacks are fun because it
He's a
is essentially
fucking wizard.
he's a bit of a
Yes.
wizard, but he's also is our top man because the entire point of the Museum of Natural History's basement is it's the infinite warehouse. It's the infinite
Yeah.
warehouse at the end of
No, no,
Indiana
no.
Jones and the temple and
No, he's not
the
like a
Temple of the
wizard.
Lost Ark, Raiders of
He,
the Lost Ark. Wow, fuck.
yeah, he's not like that. He knows. He knows how to use magic. He knows about the network. He's in work. He's in contact with Alziz, and he knows about the Manhattan Ghouls and Delta Green.
Well, yeah, because if you read the Necronomicon seriously, you can actually pick up magic. It's
Yeah.
Yes.
So
It's just hypergeometry. It's
straight
equations.
up in the Dunwich Horror. I forget the name of the guy. I always forget the name of the doctor in that one, but he legitimately uses a ritual to take out the other Whately brother. Like it allows him to see him and banish him back using another old one to get rid of him.
Yep.
hmm.
Uh
so some of the things that he has in his possession: two Sumerian clay tablets that the words change on it.
Now that's fun.
A skull of an unidentified creature.
which is a rat-like creature with an extraordinary large brain pan and eyes which face forward instead of to the sides.
Oh, I know what this one is. That's a reference to Dream of the Witch House. It's the little rat man.
Because it has a bullet through its head.
Yeah.
A
Broken
Greek
Greek
vase.
cutting a baby's head off while the other drinks its blood. A woman is shown smashing a child against a pillar. This can cause one sanity just from looking at it because it's pretty fucked up. By the way, this randomly stinks.
Yes.
There's a fragment of a bronze-type metal recovered from under the sea.
Which may be from a deep one. Because there are ruins underneath, like, not just the ruins of the elder things, because the elder things do have cities across the earth underwater, but also the deep ones do have civilizations down there.
An unidentified mechanical device found in a
On a
Paleocene in
rock deposit. Yes. There is a bunch of great stuff that you can just kind
The
of figure out.
five-sided, that's an elder thing weapon. A five-sided object is made of metal. No, this is an elder thing device. Because they settled the earth right when the moon formed. They've been on here for over 1 billion years.
He also has in his library the Cults Malficarum, his own daybook, the Elton Shards, Monsters and Their Kin, a record of events of the ship Dauntless.
That's a fun one.
The
Sussex manuscript, Thaumaturgical Prodigies in New England canon.
Oh, this one's nasty. De Vermis de Mysteris. This one is
yes,
actually...
he has that one as well.
Copy.
He has a group of relic items in the Cult of Shukaran in the Asian cultures display, including sacrificial knives, ceremonial dress, and a human skull fashioned into a cup. From Malaysia.
He also has the Congolese ritual mask, which is a reference to...
That's a reference to a cult that is, I think, in one of the Lovecraft books.
It's the cult of the white gorilla, where a guy basically found out, like, there's a... Yeah, it's that.
I'm a white gorilla.
It's also a reference of... I forget the name of the... It's a short story, but the dude had a book, The Crazy Old Man.
The Terrible Case of Jeremy Lane?
I think... Is it the one where he goes to the old crazy man's house who's like a cannibal?
No.
Because that one also had a Congolese cannibal
cult. I need to point out here. Jensen Wu's sanity, 57.
Yeah, I mean, he had a
high
willpower.
He started out at willpower 18, so do the math.
And mind you, yeah, now, he loses 1 sanity and gains 1% in Oklo every 1d6 months. He's at 24% Oklo. His rituals: Oklo Awakening, call forth from the outside of the winged servitor, the Hound of Angles, the Ifrit.
Yeah, you can summon the Hound of Tindalos.
Yep, Elder Sign, Immortal Messenger, Hunger to Remit, Prayer to the Darkman, Raised from Essential Salts, Reanimation Formula, Release Breath.
He actually knows Dr. West's formula.
The Vorish Sign, Whispers of the Dead, Azathoth, Elder Thing, Huantqua, Nygoth, Shub-Niggurath, Yogg-Sothoth, Nyarlathotep, and Withering.
Also, if you're curious what the Vorish sign is it allows you to see things that aren't necessarily part of our reality. You make it if you want to see stuff that are made out of it. You want to see. You use it if you want to see the spawn of the old ones.
And then we get one of the fun ones up next.
The Keepers of the Faith. Now, it turns out that there are people in Manhattan that eat people.
Oh God! And the song up here is actually to the tune of West. What was it?
Take Me Down.
Yeah. Meat and bone, take me home. People
West
that
Virginia.
don't want to see. Oh God! But yeah, it's a ghoul cult.
Now, where did the cult come from? The Dutch.
Yep, because of New Amsterdam.
So they end up here. They end up, becoming...
Well, here's some of the crimes before they degenerated into horrible, flesh-eating goblins. Some of the crimes that they were accused of included vagrancy, blasphemy, adultery, sodomy, murder, and witchcraft. So, yeah, you can kind of see why they decided to hide underground when they can.
Yes. And, they honeycomb
This
much of the
also
island
the
of
reason
Manhattan
they're
with
Dutch.
tunnels.
Here's another reason why they're Dutch. So the short story The Hound takes place in the Netherlands for the most part because there was a grave robber that was from the Netherlands that had a statue of the winged hound. So that's probably why, because the hound is also kind of tied to ghouls, and like the people that were in the book they had a habit
Yeah.
of digging up dead people to put them into art galleries. So they were pretty ghoulish themselves, so it kind of works. I just wanted to bring it up because it's just I don't know if it's
Mhm.
intentional, but it kind of feels like it is. But it's also New
So,
York, so
yeah, the cult did get kind of quashed a bit in 1766, but they have constantly grown back. In the 20th century, they were centered in a mishmash of cultures in the neighborhood of Red Hook in Brooklyn.
Red Hook is a major. That's actually what it's the Satanist cult story that
Hmm.
Lovecraft wrote, and he fucking hated it. It's considered
Yeah.
besides Herbert West Reanimator, the Red Hook Murders was his least favorite book that he wrote, if I remember right.
Yep. They have taught the old ways to the new devout, Kurds, Chinese, Yazidis, taught them fragments of knowledge from Greek books, books lost before the rise of Rome.
And now the reason this one works is because anyone can become a ghoul. You just have to essentially sacrifice your humanity. This is something that gets more established because Lovecraft hints at it in the picture in the Pickman's model. The Lovecraft Circle expands on it.
The But then eventually in the early 20th century they split. After
Yeah, most of them
they
went
were
to Jersey.
yeah, after they were nearly uncovered in Red Hook, some of them went to Jersey.
I mean, honestly, New Jersey ghouls, like a New Jersey and a ghoul, they're the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
You ever see someone from New Jersey? They eat they eat the human flesh by themselves. Like a ghoul, honestly, they'd look more normal than an average New Jerseyan. Holy shit.
And the problem is for the community in Manhattan is that, well, they can't really do what they're doing they usually do because you know, not that many graveyards
Well, no,
in
there's a
Yeah,
Manhattan.
fuckload of them because there's a fuckload of people, but the problem is you can't really get at them because of the development around the city.
Mm,
they're also
and
old. They're really old.
Yeah,
yeah, so they don't understand much.
but most of
No,
these
the
guys are from the
graveyards are old. There's no
1700s,
Well, no,
fresh
it's also
bodies.
these people. Also,
so they kind of
so
have to
some of
find
them,
new prey.
well, some of them have renounced the old ways. The heretics, they uh, they like fresh meat, so they're stealing people from homeless shelter or the homeless, abandoned alleyways, subway platforms. Uh,
Which
when the
is
police
which is
were
what the
getting
ghouls
caught
in
wind of it,
Boston did, by the way.
yeah,
Pickman's model, it's hinted that several times they have actually attacked people on the subways. They'll
the
also just break
heretics,
into houses and murder you, and then
yeah,
eat you.
the heretics kill for fun, and they have grown strong. They have grown large, but they will be exposed most
Well, yeah,
likely.
because the police are already kind of going, "What the hell's going on over here? There's like 5 dead bodies, and oh god, we got like a serial killer or something."
They even got to Alziz. Uh,
Alziz is not happy about that.
Today, deep beneath the club, which has stood for 30 years now, past a bolted red fire door, the starving keepers of the faith sometimes gibber and meep, waiting for whatever morsel their master might deign to grant them.
Yeah.
By the way, so the new owner came to the closed off site. So I want to note this about Stefan Alziz. What is his title? The son of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, the ghouls don't like the light.
No, the son, as in the son of the sun. The son, as in a son, a kid.
I'm not getting what you're.
What I'm trying to imply is that he's not necessarily Nyarlathotep.
Oh,
They always were ambiguous with this guy because it's kind of you take how you want to use him. I never really gave much of a shit for Club Apocalypse, so this doesn't really appeal to me that much.
Well,
But
he say Mr. Elziz is my father's name.
Right. Because oh, what could be more interesting than hey, so when mommy and daddy love each other very much, the Eldritch entity creates a being of pure chaos inside. Yeah.
So they have connections throughout throughout New York, and
Yep, they've got these tunnels all
yeah,
over the place.
and the way to use them, you can perhaps connect. They're trying to catch the subway butcher. Transit Authority sends teams after there's been a disruption of power as the Heretics are trying to dig through their wardens.
Yep.
there's also the
There is
concept of
also
the Promised Land.
possibly yes.
There could also be, well, maybe one of you turn into them.
Well, yeah, because
I do
again, ghoul, you can become a ghoul.
I do love the idea of a ghoul that is trying to find the mythical promised land of Glendale. It's Glendale Cemetery. Like that is both genuinely funny and kind of horrifying.
And I do like, what's the character they have? Talbot, the Manhattan Keeper of the Faith. Uh,
Yes.
Only a 22% English.
Yeah, well, he is Dutch. He's not spoken much English.
Well, not. Oh, he's not even Dutch. He's from France.
But you have an even older Eddie Van Karstens, who
Like
knows
that's
45% antiquated Dutch. He has Greek and Latin.
Also antiquated Danish because she's from Copenhagen.
Yeah.
what
So yeah,
a
you even got some more recent guys.
there's some more recent ones they talk about it how it's actually a pretty big culture shock. A lot of the older ghouls don't really know what's going on up above, and they aren't really quite sure what's actually happening. It's kind of funny.
It's one of the more
Which
interesting things. It's kind of the best way to describe this is if you want to have like the world's weirdest case of vampire.
So, by the way, the Promised Land, this whole section is so funny. I love it. Across the East River, a large community of ghouls maintain several huge warrens beneath some of the biggest cemeteries in the world. These ghouls, fearing discovery by humans, fled Manhattan after Red Hook decades ago. They took up residence in Long Island,
Hmm.
which makes sense to me.
yes,
Have you ever met someone from Long Island?
yes.
Yeah, that's pretty normal to me. Like they even show like I don't know why they took a normal photo of a Long Islander, but
A man from Long Island, yeah.
like this is just a
Your
normal
average
photo. Like
But
that's not.
not.
They usually have art. I don't know why they took this.
But you know what? I realized this one I could do as a scenario: the Lubavitchers versus the ghouls. Because you remember a year ago the
yeah, yeah,
Jews
yeah,
digging
yeah,
the
yeah.
tunnels? That's the Lubavicker movement.
I was thinking
I
something
I
stupider.
I love that idea. I think that's actually really funny.
I have a stupider
As like
idea. Harold and Kumar as ghouls go to the cemetery. It's just a pair of ghouls that are stoned out of their gorge, just trying to having the munchies, just trying to get to Glendale.
but yes, beneath the cemeteries, right? There is basically the large metropolis of ghouls. It is the largest it's possibly one of the largest ones in the world.
The only ones that really compete with it are ones in like Paris to a degree and Boston.
Right. Now, they do not, in fact, interact with humanity whatsoever. They keep to themselves. There's only been 2 times uh, that they've interacted with people, and if discovered, they'll basically stop at nothing to prevent people from finding out, which to make sense.
Yeah. But that all altogether brings us to, oh, well, we've always been here, haven't we?
Well, yeah, we're on the ninth floors, and we're about to see the impossible.
Agent
Don the
Lycon,
Mask.
you're here, aren't you? You know what I'm talking about.
Here, have this gun.
How's the?
We need to kick open a theater.
No. Yes. Well, he was there. He was definitely there.
You need to put on the mask and do the job.
So this is where the fun that was Impossible Landscapes came from.
And I
Somewhat.
want to note
This is
they
their
stain
interpretation.
every bit of the page where Haster's name is yellow.
Oh yeah, they do. I just
Yes.
noticed.
So, what is Haster? Well, some say he is a great old one. Some say he is the Can Yellow, but he's not a
In
great old
reality,
one.
he was an older figure that was adopted from a pre Lovecraft circle set of interesting stories.
Called the King in Yellow, which is about the King in Yellow, the play, and the person. And it is Haster is a force of entropy. It is the cosmic principle which destroys order. It happens on every level, so that he has influence across all levels of reality.
The best way to describe it, because they give an example, because he's really hard to understand. Imagine a deity based on the law of gravity, and it was described as living in the center of the earth, and he was constantly pulling all of creation towards it. While still being wholly fictional, this concept does nevertheless have a strong relationship with the physical properties of gravity, and therefore those who worship such a deity would have a powerful understanding of the law of gravity and the effects on human lives. Essentially, what the King in Yellow does is
It's a black
It
hole.
dra- it drags you down closer and closer and closer until you will eventually emerge into the realm of the king and his madness.
and
And you will bring
Carcosa.
out and you will bring others with you, as they have brought you, as you brought them, forever and ever, until you end up on the play in the ballroom at the masquerade, and the king will reveal his mask, and the curtains will close.
There's
Have you
a
seen the yellow
lot.
sign?
Yeah. The Haster mythos, I should note this. This is one of the things that really defined Delta Green as different from almost every other Call of Cthulhu
Instead
style
of
thing.
the king in yellow being just another cult, maybe there's a little bit of madness here. It's this. Uh, it is a mimetic virus.
They
Effectively, it is the dissolution. I don't know how to describe it. The closest I can think
If
of is the gravity one's a good analogy, but in anime terms, it's kind of like how there's the concept of an AT field holding your soul in
Oh
your
no.
body.
No, no,
it
no. No,
could be
we
that,
aren't gonna do
the
that.
closest also the other thing close could be in within the SCP universe.
It's your
There's
sense of self.
well, yeah,
Let's not do
there
that one
actually no,
either.
that is there is within the SCP the fifithism, in which they are worshiping aspects of an entity that may, in one interpretation at least, comes from a higher noospheric level. So if it does come into our reality, it consumes us as a concept.
That's not a bad
All right.
idea.
That's here you think that that's good, but I've got a much simpler, much better, and much easier to understand explanation. It's like an event horizon.
I was going to go with
Stuff
vacuum decay.
breaks down and gets weird
I was thinking true
as
vacuum.
you get closer and closer to the black hole.
Have you ever heard the hypothesis that the universe we're in is actually technically metastable because, like, we're not at the actual vacuum value and tunneling can cause. That's what he is, effectively.
Another theory, which is another kind of mindfuck, is that we are already inside of a black hole.
Oh, that's
Yeah, what do you think the multiverse is?
oh no.
Like, as I said, it's a theory. Not many people buy into it because there's basically no way to prove it or disprove it. But the theory basically goes that if you break things down to a certain level, everything breaks down anyway, right?
Angel Arroyo. So it's like the world of darkness with the Umbra and spirits that represent ideas, concept, and nature, like the worm. No, the worm is like
No,
pure entropy. The King in Yellow is more like
it's not just a breakdown of reality and decay. It includes the entropy of the physical understanding of the world, of concepts, of continuity, of
A common take on
experience.
it is that it's essentially what makes humanity think, therefore you are. What the king does is he takes it away if you start studying him.
Like, Tech, bring up one of your characters.
Which one? Are we talking about the one that was like not real? Are we talking about the one
Yes,
that
the one that was not human.
right?
So tell the
Once you
tale.
get closer, basically put the more and more you get close to Carcosa, the more reality breaks down. As I said, it's an event horizon.
Like
So
for instance, yeah, your character was you had a character who
one character was effectively a an alternate universe version of a bond that somebody had that
with a
with a raccoon that lived in his attic. That guy was not very stable. The but basically that because the raccoon existed and there was a quantum connection between all this, so on and so forth, timey-wimey bullshit, we basically agreed that yes, you can create a character based on that because your last guy died in a really fucking stupid, funny way. So we'll keep going through that one. There was some
uh, NDR saying the King Eel is the decay of the fourth wall. Yeah,
Effectively, that's one way to see it.
that's one way, but here's what I would argue. The king is kind of at its core. It, it is the end, the breakdown, this as I said, a black hole. Everything goes and rotates towards it, and it hits the end, and the stage is set. The play is on there, and congratulations, you're on the stage, and you're never leaving.
Alternatively, it is the curtains close.
And I mean,
The curtains
there's
close,
like
you will be there for the next performance.
because you were
yes,
always there.
they have a
'Cause
bunch of stuff that they talk about Carcosa in this. Again, go read
it is
Impossible
very heavy, but
Landscapes.
like as we scroll down, like page was it 258. Notice that subtly the text is slightly tilted.
Yeah, they
That's that's what we're getting at. Is because at the beginning, yeah, you saw the odd things of that. The word Haster is stained, and as you get closer and deeper and deeper into it, reality is breaking down. Your concept of what is considered a normal page layout or a normal how text should look like is not correct.
and again, I just say go get Impossible Landscapes, even if you don't intend to run it ever or play it ever. It's an art piece as an RPG
Y-
book. It
It
is.
very much is. But don't worry. I mean, you've already read it. It's already in your bookshelf. Look deep inside your bookshelf, and you will
You'll
eventually
probably find it.
you'll find it. You might stumble into another bookstore, but the man will give it to you.
Again, it's a
That's how I
great.
found it.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So
You'll either really like it or you'll really hate it. It tends to depend on who. It depends on how you are
people
as a
that
player.
You might also find it by entering a house of leaves, but you
Also,
know,
I like the iteration because they show an idea of what Carcosa might look like, at least as best as your human brain can understand it. Look at the multiple city overlays of different eras.
yep. Carcosa is a fun, wacky, wild adventure.
It's I think I figured out, not
fun for the whole
perfectly,
family.
but a good way to describe, well, the Yellow King is he is the destruction of concept.
Yes,
Effectively, Carcosa is a city, kind
but
of.
what is it? But what's a city?
And that's the point. As you get
What?
It's
deeper
a
No, no, no.
into the
construct.
city, it falls
Yeah, what's
A
it?
apart.
city is a construct.
And the construct
What is
It,
it?
starts
What is
crumbling.
and what does a city look like? Well, it will look like all the city. And I do have to say this though, because of impossible landscapes, it does to me kind of taint future use of the mythos, because
It's
wh-
really hard to top
where
that.
where out well no, but also where else do your characters end up?
Then all of a sudden you just pull out D&D. Here you go. It's time to play a game of Keep to the Borderlands.
That's actually a way you could do that to screw with players is you have them as like a debrief or something, like playing a game of D&D, and then you pull, okay, here's your character sheets, and you just play a game of D&D for the entire rest of the night.
No. Then you fuck with them a little more. Combat begins, and then this would work better on like the Foundry or like Roll20.
Mhm.
But then you immediately change it to another game. You like
Yes.
yeah, you immediately shift it into Glorantha.
And then when you're eaten by the yellow bat this time around, then you're entered into well, if you want to screw with players, you just put them in fatal. Um,
but
but
effectively he is the death of concept.
you put them in Yasby's bed and breakfast,
Again,
and they're
there
serving the king.
these two really love impossible landscapes. I'd have to read it, but that spoils it, so that's why I don't. But
I mean, we
the thing
ran
is,
it. That's why.
I've known people that fucking hate that adventure.
Oh,
It's either
I
you're
mean,
They're
really
no
gonna love
fun.
it or you're gonna hate it. That is my understanding of
I mean,
this.
that's what they think, but that's just their reaction then. We've seen that. We don't worry. We've seen them all at the play, even behind the mask. We've seen them.
You can say that everyone loves it all you want, but no, there are people that genuinely hate that fucking splat.
And those people, I need to kindly but firmly tell them to leave. Like, I
We'll need them to put the silver mask on. I think they need to stay at the
they need to
encounter
go to
group.
the encounter group. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
they need therapy.
my problem with how they handle the King in Yellow in this case is you can't really go farther from here, and on top of that, it kind of like
I mean,
it's
that's direct
interesting.
exposure. I think a point would always be to never have truly direct exposure.
Well, no, I know that, but like because of how you handle him, A, he's a pain in the ass to use, and
He's
B he kind
always
of
been a pain, and that's the thing. It doesn't matter which version of the game it is. For the most part, the king has always been the biggest pain in the ass god to use in the mythos. Like flat out.
Because
There's
it
a
just
reason I almost
doesn't
never use him
exist.
whenever I play in Call of Cthulhu.
And
The
what
best way to
like
describe him is he's basically if you ever want to do a Batman story, there's a reason they don't usually use Riddler because you have to be smart to fucking do a Riddler story, right?
Wait, no. This. You know, there's Batmite. This is Riddler might.
No, this is Emperor Joker. That's actually not a bad take.
Yeah.
Especially since remember, the entire point of him is he can't get rid of Batman. The play must go on. The play must
But
go on.
I do like this section. When I read this, nostalgia hit me. You know,
it's a very well
you
put together
tell
section.
they're bringing up, just
They're
you
bringing
know,
up a lot of stuff,
Carcos.
and
They bring up the Whisper Labyrinth and the bottles.
Yeah,
yes,
they cover all
there's a
these
lot.
things, and they also
Make sure
still
to
just
find.
fuck with you.
Oh, Hildred Castigane.
Yep,
Oh,
they have all of that.
oh, that's so cool.
It's what
And
they've got.
finally, the palace, and then the masquerade.
Again, this section, if you can get your hands on the original Countdown, it's basically identical.
Well, yeah, including then the large appendices. They are missing though the again 100 pages of government roles that you could play in different countries.
They're also missing a few adventures, but they're
They're missing one
compiling
other
those in
thing.
a separate book.
Conclusion. If you've taken your agents all the way through the preceding material, it's probably time to ditch all this nonsense and fight some real monsters. I don't know. I just think that's really funny. It's like, yeah, let's put all this passion in. Oh yeah, fuck this. Let's play something less. It just made me laugh. Also, the off typesetting of manifestation.
Yes, they do that a lot.
But the next up, like with the appendices, like they're going
Most of
very
these
realistic,
are
almost like
reports on various things that can be found.
like they're talking about like reports on these aquatic humanoids and going into the genetic details of them.
Like effectively, it's useful in-game stuff that you can hand your players for handouts for adventures that they haven't played. But they need, for the adventure, you need them to be
Or alternatively, if
in the
you're
know.
a GM and you're doing your own thing, gives you an idea on what some of the handouts you might want to kind of quickly type up might look like.
They gave you various other rituals that you can use.
They did a lot of extra stuff here.
Manhattan
Uh,
Subterraneans, which if you want to deal with the ghouls, this is a pretty fun one.
Rituals, mysterious manuscripts to add to your game. They explain what
The
Aklo
Pittsburgh
actually
Toxic
is.
Gel.
They have a few kind of other bits and pieces. They have the report about the incident in the UK at the very, very end of the book, and then that's the stop of it. So,
And if you're curious, if you've ever heard of the what is it? In the halls of R'lyeh, dead Cthulhu lies dreaming. That classic line. That's in Aklo. Aklo is the that.
Is the language of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that is that, and again, you can tell now how different though this is from other Lovecraft-inspired role-playing games, and I think it is, despite the unnaturalness of the setting, it's that touch of realism when it either involves like history, politics, just the characterization and the writing that really changes it from I'm in the 1920s and I'm reading ancient tomes and fighting monsters.
I would say so. Call of Cthulhu is a very fun, but it's usually period piece based. They did come up with different eras. There was a more modern take, for example.
There's
But at its core, you're not gonna be some Billy badass. You're usually some academic, maybe some guy with a gun, and you're probably gonna die screaming. I mean, you're still gonna die screaming in Delta Green, but the take on this is, well, I mean, it would make sense. Like with all of these incidences, wouldn't the government have like a task force similar to to RPD, or just any other like X Files? Wouldn't it make sense for something like that to happen? Yeah, it would. So what do we do with that? Okay, hear me out. What if the actual organization was corrupt and you're like the crazy people that like scream about the black helicopters? Oh, and then that did well in the 90s, and then they brought it back. When Delta Green hits, it really hits. When it whiffs, these guys are
It just
going to be a lot more forgiving than I would, but I'm just pointing out like there will be adventures or splats that you're just not going to fucking like, and that's fine. I think when it hits though, it
but
really hits.
yeah, but what I say is another thing that really helps Delta Green is the fan community around it. They organize yearly, I don't know, even like eh, almost like monthly almost events of like creating scenarios. They have databases for all sorts of adventures depending on, do you want to fight this creature? Do you want to be in this era? Do you want this, to evolve this
It is
location?
as passionate as, oh man, I forget the name of it. I'll give an example. They're as passionate as the Bethesda fan base in terms of making modules, but they're also very similar to. Oh man, I'm blanking on what's that one. What's that one OSR game that kept stealing all the fire and actually translating BX on the Forge?
Shadow Dark?
No, there's another one. Not Axe, a different one.
I'm
OSE, Old School
oh
Essentials. Yeah. Oh yeah, OSE. It's similar to that where there's a lot of support that builds modules. Or
I mean,
actually,
like,
Morkborg's another example where
yeah,
they have a lot of support for modules.
like
But Delta Green kind
within
of
the
blows them all
yeah
out of the water.
within and again, it's because you can now kind of tap into just themes I think from history. I mean, this one we tap into what the UK, the Soviet Union,
It tapped into government structures that gave you a history lesson,
government,
and those were very
yeah,
fascinating.
drugs,
I will say they
cults.
MK Ultra. They covered MK Ultra. I mean, it was done in the style of a Batman villain, but for fuck's sake, you're fighting a Batman villain. I'm only complaining because I see it as the weakest of a bunch of other really good fucking ideas. That's why I'm
I mean,
complaining. It's
I mean,
only a
listen,
decent
yeah.
idea and a bunch of really good ones for me.
I mean, listen, you could have an entire mission where you go and hunt down the guy who created the Rogel Dorn tank because clearly that rat bastard,
No. What
that
happened? What
rat
happened?
bastard of a designer, wanted to make
Oh
a
no.
just a in between from a main battle tank to a super heavy battle tank, and they compromised by just making it have all the guns on it,
You're
and just giving it to players.
Well, I was just gonna make a joke that what happened was you spotted the yellow sign on the Rogel Dorn commander tank, which is why you're losing because reality's breaking down around the things.
Actually, motherfuck, why does it have
I'm
why
gonna
does
just
it
paint
have
the yellow sign
so
on all
many
my boards.
guns?
Yeah,
So many guns that
there's
do
your
3 damage on it, and yet my fucking Predator with the twin-linked las cannon will always have 1 shot. It's
twin
twin-linked,
link.
so I reroll my wound, but it's only 1 that's what a heavy weapon is. It's a 1 shot.
And I can bring 3 of them, and that's what 3 times to do 20 attacks that do 3 damage. Have fun.
Ah,
Oh, and I can also have my commander give orders, and he's one of my 3, so I get to go again. Have fun. The only way it'd be even better is if I could use the original Tau Flying Stingray one, just to make it even worse. I would be literally killed. They would actually kill me. They wouldn't throw me out of the LGS. They would actually they
no.
would actually willingly take my minis and build a pyre for me to be burned on if you were able to do that.
But with that, again, good book.
I would rate
It
this as a very high
yeah.
good. I would actually say it almost touches amazing, and the only reason I kind of, well, actually no, I'm gonna say it just about touches amazing.
Yeah.
Because it
This
has banger after banger after banger. It's excellent material for a GM. Not
That's
really
what
for
these are for.
players.
yeah, this is your GM book.
This and the conspiracy are more aimed at the GM so that they have an idea of what's actually going on. There's a couple of sections in the conspiracy that are aimed at players, namely like what is it like to be an agent of the FBI at this time, like things like that. But for the most part, these books are for the game master. These are things that the game master knows and should know if you're trying to run a period campaign set in the this time.
Or even if you're not, it gives you really good ideas on what the organizations are going to be like. So let's say you want to play around as Pisces. Well, this allows you to, if you want to do like a James Bond with the British, this allows you to figure out how that works. And it also gives you a fun little conspiracy to have to deal with. Do you want to play? Do you want to play as the overworked and underpaid Russians? You can do that. Do you need a particularly horrific Shub Niggurath cult? It has that. Do, do you want to work for Mr. Wu to collect artifacts a la Indiana Jones? Because you could do an
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
Yes, it literally belongs to the museum.
Do you want to be Jake Paul in the woods getting hunted by Bigfoot? That's Phenomenex. Or
Again,
alternatively, the VTuber idea. I think that one's actually comedic as fuck, and it would be really amusing.
basically put this entire this book is a great example for how do you do a modern horror campaign. How do you do updates of these Lovecraftian concepts to the modern era? And that was one of the original ideas behind
That's
Delta
part of it,
Green.
but I think a lot of it is also okay. So most of the Call of Cthulhu incidents involve citizens. How would a
Right.
government handle this shit?
A lot of it is that by the designer's own admission, like a good chunk of that is because the designers kept getting a bit irritated by the ludonarrative dissonance of like, okay, so why the hell is this party actually still here? Like by this point, they should have called the police.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really like with Call of Cthulhu. It kind of works better if you. The way I always treated Call of Cthulhu campaigns, you're probably gonna do episodic. Like you can bring characters back, but 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be episodic. Unless
But
unless they're like particularly heroic and they
And
realize,
or
yeah,
you're playing a larger adventure module. But as I was saying there, though, it's a lot of it's just like, okay, what is the reason for your guys to even be together? Why are you here? And because that can be really complicated for a Call of Cthulhu group that's a dancer, a bootlegger, the local professor, and some rich guy that has way too much time on his hands.
what are you talking
Like,
about? You can just do the D&D. You literally gave me the perfect setup for a speakeasy encounter.
right, but you've met in a bar. I mean,
wait, this is the 1920s though. How can you meet up in a speakeasy still? But
it's
what if
speakeasy.
you're
It's a
Rye
legal bar.
County?
Rich socialite owes money to the mobster. The professor and the professor's the one that has like an interesting house on haunted hill. There's treasure. There's an
But
actual like loot in the haunted fucking house
where'd you get your guns though?
from the bootlegger. And the
All
dancer
right,
has one because she keeps one in her.
I
She
know
keeps
you're
one
I know
strapped.
you're insisting on this, but like what I'm trying to say is that it's a lot harder to finagle some of this stuff together with a Call of Cthulhu party than it is with Delta Green. With Delta Green, you have a
Well,
reason
yeah,
for
because
why you can't just
it's
call the
brain dead
police.
because you're an agency. Like, yeah, it's a
No,
lot
no, no,
more
no,
brain
no.
dead.
Well, you think it's brain dead, but then you
By
get into
comparison, it is.
well, no, but then you get into having somebody who has worked with or works in the government, and of the layers of bureaucracy, the difficulties of getting equipment, the requisitions that you'll need, the justifications that you need.
Then you're just
If you
shoving the
want to have
complexity over there rather than just getting
no,
them together.
if you want to have a lot of fun in a Delta Green campaign, get some actual requisition forms out and force your players to fill them out if they're asking for something really stupid.
Listen. I'll give them the CFR, the full
That reminds
CFR.
me of the dude who
Read
got
it,
bullied
bitch.
because he tried to force a guy who wanted to build a tank in D&D to design his own fucking schematics in 90 minutes.
I don't blame that guy for doing that because if you're a GM and you're like, all right, no, I'm not gonna like that's a I'm not trying to say no openly, but no.
Just say no
The
openly and or just be smart and get good by using magic to counter that. Magic
right,
exists in your fucking setting, buddy. Use it.
yeah. But you get my point though. Like this is not a game that is
It is easier to get a group together because it's like, okay, yeah, you're part of a government agency.
well, more accurately, there's a reason not to just be like, all right, we're done, we're leaving.
We have you have to do the cover up.
You know what
Uh,
they're missing
more
because
accurately, no. Like you see, oh yep, that's a spooky dude. I'm calling the police. Like that's one of the problems with a lot of Call of Cthulhu scenarios, where
that's more of a
theoretically, if
problem with
somebody
your
just
mindset. Because okay, so for those wondering, Tech has a bad habit as a player to go like, "Zoinks! It's time to get the fuck out of here, man." He does
I
that.
have a
He does that.
survival instinct. All right, I have a survival instinct.
Yeah, all
which
your
is more
characters
than
do.
some.
I'm just
They do,
highlighting that
and
he's complaining because he's the type of dude
do
who
note, do note, I have the only one that survived your Hunter campaign.
Yes.
I will not acknowledge why I was the only one that had a character that survived the Hunter campaign. That is irrelevant, but I was the only one that had a character that did
Your
that.
second character died like a frog in a blender, and you know it.
Well, so did everybody else's. So, moot point.
Actually, you were the one that caused the TPK, buddy.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm saying it was a moot point. So,
I'm actually not a killer DM, but when you botch and then you use the
we
willpower
botched that
to
roll.
re-roll,
Yeah,
like what can you do?
that was
What
that
can you
was
do?
the best
It was the
dramatic
end of the
failure.
campaign, and you were kind of already dancing on that one's grave because what can you do after a mummy? And I'm like, I had a lot more to do, buddy.
Well, yeah, I mean, like once you're getting into the
yeah.
mummies, it becomes like, all right, like how do you get beyond that? Like genuinely.
I don't treat my adventures like a fucking shonen manga, so we would have
No,
just
it's not
done
even
other
like
stuff.
it's not like a power scaling thing. It's more like how do you get beyond that as a concept? Because like mummies are like when the big guns come out and like everything's going really fucking crazy. Like it's hard to top that.
You don't. You de-escalate down and do like a
I know that you can de-escalate, but like the problem with that is I feel that like de-escalation after that just doesn't feel as good. Like there's plenty of times where de-escalation feels good, but after the mummy thing, it's sort of like,
yeah, for you.
yeah, for me
Again,
it's just sort of like
specifically for you.
Listen, this is getting to be a very mundane conversation, which leads us into the next topic, which is what we're reviewing next week. And I'm thinking the perfect thing to talk about this is the subtle reality of growing old and losing your sense of fantasy touch.
Are we actually gonna do Changeling the Dreaming?
Oh yeah, we're doing Changeling the Dreaming.
I'm gonna need to get rum for that one.
I'm going to actually also need to get booze for that one.
Are we doing Blood-Soaked Tides? No,
No, I don't
Blood-Soaked
think we did.
Tides. I mean,
I
if
thought-
you want me to
I thought
spend 30
we were
minutes
going to
editing
do-
the tits out,
Yeah, we were going to do the Autumn People.
the Autumn
normies.
People, the Normie book, the book about why normies are bad.
Okay, that's. I mean, hey, it's gonna be better than anything David Hill wrote. No, seriously, I don't think David Hill wrote anything good during his time in White Wolf. Fuck's sake. Okay, I'm gonna need because Oh, that's gonna suck. It's gonna be the. For those curious, this is the Otherkin Manifesto. Yeah.
He's not joking.
Oh no,
it is.
this did actually.
It is one of the not. There's a lot. There are quite a few terrible books in the World of Darkness. This is not the worst one. I think that. Oh God, the worst
It's
one.
not the worst.
I'm trying to
But,
think. Gypsies maybe, but that's more entertaining. New World Order was
You're having
awful.
to bring out
New
you're
World
having to
Order
bring
was
out
like hot
gypsies.
pokers in the eye.
If you're having to bring out gypsies as like a comparison point, we're already in some like just
Henka Yokai's Kutsune section, like it's bad.
oh yeah.
The Autumn
It's-
People is
it's-
not a very good book.
It's not a very good book. It's one of those books where it's like, why did you publish this? Like genuinely, I need to see if I can find a copy. I don't know if I have one on hand.
Don't worry, it's right next to your copy of Impossible Landscapes. That's actually already in your hand. You actually are holding both of them.
No.
It was always there.
It's always been there. Look, it's always there now.
Can't die anymore. You can't
Fuck.
die, Lottie. Lottie can't die anymore.
But yes, next week we will get to complain about how normal people are ruining all of our hobbies.
Translation: he's gonna complain about the Rogel Dorn tanks again.
Unironically, yes.
Depends on what other stuff Games Workshop's going to come out with. There's rumored to be
they
new.
actually buff the fucking tanks next week somehow. Like they fuck up.
There's rumors that there's going to be new custodes. So
Well, I mean,
do have
they
a
do need to give like woman heads to the male bodies, so you know.
Okay. I do in fact have a copy of it, so we're good. I'm just doing a quick breeze through for the art.
Okay. So while he's doing that, I'll leave you guys to it. Have fun. And before we go, in the link, I did link to where you can get a copy of this. It is a bit pricey. It's like $35, but it's a good book. I do recommend if you're going to ever run a game of Delta Green, not necessarily play it. I will be blunt. If you're not running it, it's probably not worth it. But if you ever GM, it is. It genuinely is worth it.